Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. In today's video, we'll look at some creepy and interesting TikToks that'll make you question everything. And before we dive in, be sure to like this video. It does help this video get out to more people who like this content, but without further ado, let's get it.
Y'all, what the is going on with Cynthia Erivo hands? This video I'm gonna show y'all, she was on stage singing and her hands was twice the size of this. It looked like Shaquille O'Neal hands, but skinny as hell. Her hands was real live on some wicked shit. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Her hands remind me of the shorty that was in the crowd when The Weeknd was doing this little song and she had them long ass fingers. That's what hers remind me of. Look at this shit. Look at her hands, y'all. And it look like it's growing. Am I tripping? I understand she got on nails, but look out how long her fingers is, y'all. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So y'all just seen what I seen. Her hands is way longer on that video than right here on this picture. And I swear, watch the joint over. Watch this video over. You're gonna see her hands. It looked like it was growing, y'all. This shit is crazy, fool. Now all them interviews when she was talking crazy is kind of making sense.
She can palm a basketball like it was a tennis ball.
Greer knows better than anybody because he's been in bed with them forever. You know, he's been in bed with Rockefeller. He's been in bed with Bootsy Galbraith and all these people whose names people don't even know. Like Puharish and the Astors and all these, like, they were always funded by somebody who was like, Puharish died on the estate of R.J. Reynolds, the heir to the Reynolds tobacco fortune. And he was doing mind control research on R.J. Reynolds' private property. That was R.J. Reynolds doing the research with Henry Belk, who owns Belk department stores. MK Ultra work separate of the government, separate of the military. So is it above that? Sure. Do I think that there's some rich son of a bitch in Dubai or, you know, the Great Britain that is flying around in a UFO? Maybe. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, whatever.
Good Lord, man.
What is going on in the skies of Canada?
What is that?
Oh my God. Jay, what are we seeing?
Some kind of rod. Multicolored rod.
And now the top line is bright.
What is that? Is mommy looking at the right thing? You see that?
That is insane, y'all. Some sort of rod.
I'm not sure if that's real, but it looks like the lights are playing Tag You're It.
Apparently, you've never seen this color before. It says right here, scientists claim they discovered a new color the human eye has never seen before called aloe. And this is the color. Like, this is crazy. It kind of looks like the green that I got on right now, but how you guys feel about this? Let me know in the comments.
This color looks like aqua with a splash of milk in it.
Don't know what we're eating. Is that the bottom line, Tom?
No, we don't. In fact, right now, we've confirmed this mRNA stuff is in the food supply. We know that Merck has a product called Sequevity. They've been injecting mRNA into pigs since 2018. We know that they can actually make what's called transmissible mRNA. And what that means is that they can put this stuff in an animal so that it transmits to whoever is ingesting whatever it is that they're ingesting, and they become vaccinated. So they could engineer this into plants, into animals, into various things. And if we don't get disclosure, if we don't, pass some informed consent laws, what's going to happen is for all you guys that stood strong and said no to these mRNA vaccines, well, you're going to get them anyways, right through your food.
When it comes to food, we just got to know what we're getting into. I don't think asking for proper labeling is too much.
Did you know fast food places, they control us using colors? I could believe that. They try to put us into our lower three chakras. Our lower three chakras are three colors. There's a yellow one, there's an orange one, the last one is the root one. And the root chakra, that's the survival mode. When we're in our lowest chakra, we're in survival mode. We're at the act of hunger.
Is it
so red? The reason, look at all the biggest fast food companies in the world, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, they utilize the color red. Arby's, everything's red, bro. Sonic, red.
So that makes us like...
No. It puts us in a chakra so that we are at a desperation mode. That's the spiritual color. What's even crazier, Hooters. Hooters is orange, right? Orange is the color of our sexual chakra, bro.
Oh.
That's the chakra that's located where your genitalia would be.
Yeah.
That's where we get put into to take advantage of us. That's why it's orange.
No No way. Yeah, fam.
Even colors they use us.
Yeah.
I've never thought about food like this.
Food is Satan's secret weapon. The children of Israel went down into Egypt and were slaves for 400 years because they were looking for food. Esau sold his birthright to Jacob for food. The scripture says for one morsel of meat, he sold his birthright. Naomi and Elimelech went down to Moab for food. Maybe that's why it says in the New Testament, whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. He's used it to kill more people in world history than any other weapon. Most Americans dig their graves with a knife and fork. I'm telling you, your health, use it. Your fitness, use it, or you will lose it. You say, Myron, what are you saying? I'm saying we gotta take this health and fitness thing seriously. This is our temple. This is the tool. This is the instrument that we will use to accomplish our mission. We gotta take it seriously.
And I would like to take this opportunity to address the Emperor of the United States of America, Emperor Trump. I would like to invite him towards the Ahmadi religion of peace and light. I would like to invite him towards the Dawah and the religion of Imam al-Mahdi, the seventh covenant. If he does so, he'll find in there goodness. He will have an opportunity to be a great ruler. He won't have an opportunity to be Pope, unfortunately, because I already claimed that. And so the person who claims it first is the true claimant, and the person who claims afterwards is a false claimant. So he cannot be the true Pope. I'm the true Pope. That's done. It's over. It's non-negotiable. And I'm the representative of God on earth. But in all seriousness, I do invite him to contemplate over the proofs of this dawah and to investigate the claims that I am making, and to not be like those who have gone down in history mocking the messenger that emerged in that time.
I can't tell what his purpose is right now, but lately he's been making major waves.
Let's talk about it. Do you guys recognize something off or sinister about Blue Ivy? Look at her eyes, and why? She hasn't been smiling so profound or excited. She looks lost or doesn't have no idea why she's there. By any means, did Blue Ivy retaliated against her father for his wrongdoing? Or can this be something evil being instilled inside Blue Ivy?
Based on the height difference, I thought Blue Ivy was Beyonce at first, but she looked like she was not in the mood to snap photos.
Let you in on a little something, but I'm not going to drop names.
Okay.
But I'll never forget, these are black producers, a guy named Kevin Brown and Andre Brown, and he was later on 30 Rock, but they would come to us and they would tell us about vanity and losing your mind in Hollywood and be careful. And they came back from Hollywood to try and expand us. And they sat us down and they're like, you ain't gonna believe what we saw. They're like, what did you see? And they said, we saw so-and-so, huge name, so-and-so, huge name, and so-and-so, big name back in the day, chicken hawking at a party. And I went, what? See, you're white. I said, what's chicken hawking? Everyone like, he's white. He don't know chicken hawking. I said, what's chicken hawking? That's when you hanging out with boys that are transvestites. I went, what? What? See, now you telling stories. Now you telling stories.
Yeah.
But I never forgot that. 3 years later, this name, ping. Huh?
Busted chicken hawking.
Y'all, it's over. Shabuzi has completed the humiliation ritual. Look what the hell he got on. Bruh. Not Shabuzi. They didn't turn Shabuzi to Shabute. In the video, when he posing taking pictures, you can literally tell that he's uncomfortable. You want have people like, so why he do it? I just told you in the beginning why he did it. This shit crazy, fool. We are literally watching men, masculinity, slip away. Look at this shit, y'all. Now, watch the video and look at his body language. Look at his face and everything. Look at this man, y'all. Look, watch how uncomfortable he is. He looked like, I'm just trying to take these pictures and get away, man.
Can you step out a little bit?
Bro, what do he got on? They like, he look fine to me. No. His body language say otherwise. You cannot tell me. So y'all trying to tell me I'm tripping? He didn't look uncomfortable to y'all? Let me know down below in the comments.
This dude took his grandma's Sunday best outfit to come to the Met Gala.
Kevin Hart may have been killed in 2019 and been replaced with a clone. Wait, what, bro? The story goes that in 2019, he got in a car wreck when he was in the car with two friends. He had this nice muscle car, and it flipped over, and the top half was crunched.
He said, "It's a resurrection. That's the best way for me to put it. I feel like the other version of myself died in that moment. And this new version was born to understand and do better."
And then there's this interview where he literally says that he's a clone.
How do you do it? I have a clone. I was gonna say that. There's two of you. Cat's out the bag. Okay? It's about a good 3 of me. We broke it. They didn't want to release it yet. This is major news that I'm giving you. All right. I'm the first person to ever use it. I'm cloned. I'm cloned. I'm cloned.
Now, this is all a conspiracy theory.
I mean, if you just listen to his stand-up comedy routines throughout the years, like, they're a lot different than they used to be.
I guess the best way to tell someone the truth is to act like you're joking.
The emerging market for flying cars is gaining momentum in China, with local manufacturers racing to capture market share. Ehang made headlines last month by selling its air taxi on Taobao, receiving 12 pre-orders and highlighting growing consumer interest. While XPeng's dual-mode flying car plans face skepticism over regulations, China is positioning itself as a leader with 50% of global eVTOL models. Strong government support and advances in EV batteries give Chinese firms an edge. However, widespread adoption faces hurdles around infrastructure and traffic rules.
Truth is stranger than fiction. Watch this video until the end, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Mock meat being sold in the store, right?
Second video. Regular roast, mock. We got mock tender steaks. Yo, that is wild.
Yummy, right?
Gotta keep your eyes out, people. They selling fake meat in the stores now.
That's delicious, right? Makes me want to go out to my local store and get some of this steak and grill it up and eat it. Yum. Makes you really wonder what this mock meat really is. If you know, you know. This is more truth in plain sight. And again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. You all really need to wake up and realize what is going on before it's too late.
This is when you got to put your reading skills to the test when you're buying these packages. This has to be an abandoned house because there's no way a colony of ants can set up shop like this.
The contract with the demonic forces, Art, is real simple. Give me your talent. Give me your gift, no matter what it is. Comedy, acting, dance, sing. Give me your gift. And in exchange for your gift, marry your gift to the devil, and I will give you everlasting life on this earth. So all of us have to make a decision. Do I want eternal life on earth with the devil? Or do I want everlasting life in heaven with the Lord? And here's the thing, Art. In the movie, the vampires started to pray with Sammy. Sammy was praying and they started praying with him. Do you know what that meant? That was the demons telling Sammy, you praying don't mean nothing, because although you praying to God, you're using your gift for the devil. Although you're praying to God, you're using your gift for the devil. And the vampires kept begging Sammy. They said, we need your gift. We want to make music with you. They said, this world don't want you. This world has not given you an opportunity. Give your gift to us, the demons. And in exchange for your gift, we will give you eternal life on earth.
Israel is not a Jewish word. Israel has nothing whatsoever to do with the country in the Middle East. The word Israel is in three parts. It's an Egyptian word. It is I-S-R-A-E-L. Okay? The I-S is the goddess Isis, which is the spirit, the feminine principle in the body. The R-A is the mind. And the E-L is the God impulse in you. Okay? That's what it means. And basically, Israel means when there is a harmony between your spirit and your mind, then there is God in you. That's what Israel means. It's an Egyptian word, and it comes from those three gods of Egypt. Do you understand? Now, you see this E-L? That means the God impulse in you. That's what we call an angel. You notice the word angel ends in E-L? Because it's the God impulse in you. Is that gives you that good idea? Oh, I finally remembered what I'm supposed to do. That's an angel. That's an impulse that comes from your higher mind, from the electromagnetic field of the right hemisphere. That's why all of the angels' names end in E-L. Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Michael, etc. Okay? And that's all it's talking about. So if we come back, then when it says that there will be Russia or Rosh coming down to attack Israel, it means the emotions come down to attack that which is the spirit and mind and that which is the godliness within you. And here will come then the fire from heaven, which means the impulses will come, the spiritual impulses will come from the higher consciousness down to destroy all of those things that are coming against you.
That's a very interesting take.
Phenomena of chemtrails. And, you know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time. And so, oh, that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And the next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why. Okay? And you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting. So he started riffing about the chemtrails. And he started to say things that hit home so hard. And I would recommend that everybody try to get what he said online or wherever and try to get a copy of it and just listen to it. Because I was so moved that I had to write the song.
One conspiracy theory that Prince believed in wholeheartedly was the conspiracy theory of chemtrails. He alleged that this is why everybody acts crazy when planes pass by in the sky, and nobody could understand why these things were happening. He said he learned this information from Dick Gregory, and Dick Gregory was an activist who would talk about alleged different things that would happen in society. All of this information actually motivated Prince to make the song called Dreamer, where he talks about a few different conspiracy theories. And after Prince's passing, Dick Gregory actually did an interview where he says that Prince was unalived on purpose.
They killed Prince. They killed Prince on the plane. And that plane is owned by Warren Buffett. And so those are the games they play, man.
Let me know what you guys think on Prince's conspiracy theory on chemtrails, the song Dreamer, and what Dick Gregory said about Prince's unaliving.
I gotta find some time to listen to that song from Prince because the first 10 seconds sounded spicy. To make a mess like this, it gotta be some sizable lithium batteries.
What the hell? What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit!
What
What
is-
the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this? Oh my god, what the What is that? What is that?
I can't see E.T., but he probably got pulled over by the boys in blue.
La madre, ¿qué chingos es eso? Válgame la Virgen Santísima, pues ¿qué es eso, José? Mira. ¿Qué es eso?
This has to be Harp's work of art.
So we all know that there's 4 angels chained under the great river Euphrates, and they will be released when the whole land dries up, when the whole river dries. Then they will be released, and when they be released, they're going to go and they're going to wreak havoc on the earth. Now, something I want to shine a light on is in Jerusalem, literally when the fire started, eyewitnesses said that they saw 3 angels stirring the air, and then boom, a fire started, and then it just started spreading everywhere. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that the river Euphrates is basically dry, and remember the caves? Remember these caves, they were once covered up in the river, and now they're not anymore. So then you gotta think to yourself, are we at that time? Which I don't think we are, but it is something to think about. Ironically, 3 angels, and it could have been more, it could have been 4, they probably just didn't see the 4th, are supposedly seen in Jerusalem right before fire, starting the fire. The river Euphrates revealed that there were caves under the river Euphrates. Obviously, it's not fully dry yet, but you know what I'm saying? It is really weird. It really is weird. Like, we know that angels and fallen angels exist, and so could this be something like that?
I can't tell you whether you should believe in the Bible or not, but just know it's gonna come a day when things are gonna get weird in a major way.
So just after a few days of experiencing a blackout in conjunction with Spain and Portugal, now Paris is having one hell of a storm, and it's Imagine, y'all, because it was just sunny just a few moments. Look, what is that? Is that pollen? Y'all see how yellow that is? It was just sunny a few minutes ago, and the weather just had a mood swing. But y'all see how yellow that is? What is that? Is that pollen? Of course, hell can get into some unwanted places. I've been reading a lot of the comments, and apparently the weather has been having mood swings all over the planet. Yeah, it's raining hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if this doesn't stop? What if it continues and goes on like rain?
I can actually see the hailstorm spelling out the word concussion.
I think on one side of it, I think we really do have an entire subspecies of creatures that do exist mostly inside the earth, and they are not readily surface dwelling anymore. And I do believe, like in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, man, inside the London Bridge is a massive room, like a throne room, where they engage in this magic. But this Brotherhood of the Serpent, they call upon Nahash, the dragon. And
would that be in normal terms Satan?
Yeah, most people know him as Satan, right? Yeah. But like there is a great red dragon. Like it's a physical, that's what he looks like in reality. He was cursed, and man, he made him a monster. Yahweh made him a monster. And they would commune with these things. There's 13 grandfathers take 13 of their grandsons, and they bring them into these rooms and do these things on these specific times and rituals for all kinds of stuff. But the dragons tell them the future. This is like always what they've been able to do is Satan leads Yeshua up onto a great high place and says, I shows them all the nations of the earth and all their kingdoms and their reigns in a moment of time. He shows them the future. That's what they do. They can show you what's to come. This is why we get hunted by them. He knows if we're going to be part of his adversaries. He knows if we're going to be on his enemy list. And that's why he targets us at our youth. That's what's so happened. So many people, they're like, why has my life been a nightmare from the beginning? It's because you have a purpose and a destiny that adversary absolutely categorically does not want to come to pass. It's a real life Terminator scenario. And so he sends his assets in to destroy people, to ruin their life. And that those meeting places happen when they sit down in these rooms and they try to call up these creatures. It's from inside the earth. It wasn't like ethereal mist. They were physical things that would come out of these tunnels, and they would come into the room and they would consume the offerings that were given there. And then the words of the Nachash would come forth and they would prophesy to these guys. Like they would prophesy out of the mouth of the serpent what each one of their life callings, their shots. He's the shot caller, man. It's like a pimp from prison. He's calling the shots, and you had a bunch of fallen watchers that were in prison in Tartarus for a reason. Yeah, but they got ways of getting messages out, just like the cronies in jail today, you know. And that's what a lot of people are dealing with. They think they're dealing with the top dog, and they're like, I'm finally into the big game. And it's like you're dealing with, you know, a private in the hierarchy, but he can masquerade like a general. And so some people are really dealing with death himself, and some of them are dealing with one of his princes. And this is what my family's covenant was with the dragon. They didn't mess around, man. They went all the way to the chain of command. They uncovered a bunch of my great-grandfather's grandfather was an archaeologist who dug into the Indian mounds out in the Ohio River Valley. And they started finding a priest class that was these serpent worshipers. And that's what they started calling upon. And they started trying to wake up and rise up Huachiblos, which is these deities, these dragon fire deities.
I'm not sure if this is a show or a movie, but if you know the name, let me know. But that's it for the video. Thanks for kicking it with me. But before you leave, hit the like button and sub up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.